Hello, this is Jasmine Mogadam, and I'm presenting CS 5124 Visual Interfaces Data Course Project 1. Here I'm just going to go through the README a little bit. So this is a data visualization mainly focused on disabled veterans and disabled non-veterans, and their locations across their population distribution across the United States, and also just some quality life data to see if there's any correlations between high populations of disabled people and quality of life metrics. Going to open up the demo in a new tab here. We'll get back to that later. But essentially, to just get this running locally, I use the live server extension, which you can find. Here's like a little sneak peek of my thing. You just click go live. Once you have the whole thing pulled, it opens it up and it just runs it on a local port. So that's what I was using for essentially local development, but you can use like Nginx or plus Docker if you're a little crazy. This is what you can use to clone it. This is a public repository, so you can just copy paste this straight into your favorite terminal, be it PowerShell or Git Bash or whatever. Paste that in, or even go up here and just click the code and then download zip like that. So I wanted to see if there's any differences in the quality of life in areas with high disability rates or high disability population, and see if there's any difference like in the disabled people between veterans and non-veterans. So these are the data sources we were given in class. I also did some extra stuff where I created a Python file that will read from all of these different CSV files and essentially just get the columns I'm interested in. So it just gets all of the health stuff, so percent inactive, quality of life sort of things, and then it also just gets whether the numbers for non-veteran disability and veteran disability. So it's really just getting these like 8-9 points, and this actually makes it a bit easier on the end user when it's loading all this stuff. And then just the join key is this city FNIPS, and then FIPS on the other one. So yep, that compiles into a CSV file. The visualization components, we have a combined button, which is right here. So I'm going to now go a little bit into this. So here we have this combined button. If you hover over the eye, it says shows disabled veterans and disabled non-veterans overlaid on each other. Here we can see there's these two maps, one that has disabled veterans on the left and disabled non-veterans on the right. You can see this one's blue, this one's red, and the darker the color is, the more of that group is there. And when we hit combined, just like how the little tooltip says, it combines the two graphs and overlays them with this stripe pattern. And you can see now it's showing both of the keys at the same time. And if you hover over it, you can see that it says disabled veterans and then disabled non-veterans. Whereas when it's not combined, that little tooltip only shows the corresponding thing. So here you say this only has disabled veterans alongside the other quality of life metrics. This one only says disabled non-veterans. So there's also some difference in what is on the hover over for here. Also, if you see at the very bottom of all these stats, there's a click for graph view. Here, it just focuses on all the different qualities of life and just the percentage. These are percentage points. I didn't get enough time to really do a lot of styling on this, but that's the main idea here. There isn't any hover like this is what the day is. You kind of, the number is, you have to kind of eyeball it. That'd be something that I'd improve. Also, making this a bit bigger, more readable. But this is a pop-up, so you see like if I click anywhere else, it's not closing, but if I click this little X button, it closes. Same thing here, you can see there's like a little shifting thing. You can see how it moves around a little bit. And combined, it's the exact same thing. Yeah, that. And then below here, we can see just a basic scatter plot of disabled non-veterans and disabled veterans, and how their counts for each of these dots is a single county. And essentially, like this county has, let's say, like around 3,000 disabled veterans and around 125,000 disabled non-veterans. So that's what each of these data points are. I made them slightly transparent so you can see that there is a lot clustered right here. If I had more time, I would add that these are specifically, each dot is a county. I would allow you to hover over to see the county name on each of these dots. And then if I had even more time, do a cool brush selector, because you can see here, a lot of these are really light colors and it's really hard to tell what's what and the intensity of stuff, because Los Angeles mainly has a really high disabled population. And so if you were able to just say, like, I'm interested in all these ones at the very, very bottom left, you could probably see a lot more color on this map. But yeah, going back to the GitHub README, so that's mainly the main 4 visualization components. Some interesting things that I found with this is LA is overall has the most disabled population, with a inactivity rate of 19. My idea was like both disabled might have a lower, the more disabled population you have, disabled population you have, the percent inactive will be higher. But that's not necessarily the case. Just like through like a quick scrolling, just looking at the percent inactive, it hovers around like 17 minimum to like 30 in some areas. So in reality, 19% isn't really that different from other areas. And in fact, it's lower than a lot, because 17 is usually like the lowest percentage you get, and 19 is pretty low comparison. So fun little thing. There's also like other statistics you can look at, like the percent stroke here is very crazy. Probably also has to do with like age and stuff. So it's not a really great determiner of quality of life, but if you wanted, you could just go around, and if you are having issues reading this long list of stuff, you can always just click. Do that. Main libraries, I used D3, obviously, and then TopoJSON for the Choropleth maps. I didn't use Bootstrap or anything. This is just normal JavaScript. Project structure, I got fun little links to each of these. Yeah.